Hi, everybody. I'm Pat Finn from the Rubicon Results Institute, and we do these Facebook Lives and then help promote webinars coming up as a way to give people a chance to learn more about the people who participate in Rubicon, especially people who are making a huge difference in the world. And that definitely is truth about my guest here today. He's the Happy Coach. Roberto Suarez is with us. And Roberto, first of all, I love the fact that you are providing something here for people around the world. You've done your breath work in, not only in the United States, but for how many people in Cuba have you participated in your?
Close to 50,000 probably.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. So in case you don't know, if you are somebody watching this right now and you hear taking breaths or breath work is something that's woo-woo, I'm about to tell you that there's a scientific foundation to what Roberto does in a way that people are healthier and happier as they master their breath control. There's a deeper connection to bodies and minds, and it enhances your overall well-being. People of all walks of life, including, Roberto's worked with many executives that has had them be more productive in life. So, Roberto, first of all, what got you into doing breath work?
That's a great question. But it started when I was so stressed out, and my ego had taken, I was in the corporate world and I wasn't a very happy guy. I wasn't a happy coach, believe me.
You needed you.
And I'd done a lot of like transformational work and everything, and there was something missing. And my back started hurting, and this chiropractor basically said, "Hey, have you ever done Tai Chi?" So he recommended me to a Tai Chi teacher, and the first thing that he said to me, he goes, "Why do you want to do Tai Chi?" And he goes, "Because I don't know, I want to get rid of all this pain." And he goes, "Look, just sit there and do nothing and follow your breath." And I go, "No, I want to do the forms." And he goes, "No, just stand there, right? Just be aware where the pain is, relax, and just follow the breath." I had no idea what he was saying. But after just sitting there for 30 minutes, it was like everything released. Like all the stress started releasing, and my mind got quiet, and I could follow my breath. And I said, "Oh my God, there's something here." And that was like the first experience into like realizing that I had no idea how I was breathing.
Well, that was your first step into it. You've since
Yeah.
become an expert, literally. I mean,
Well, yeah, from there, I started like doing yoga, and then got into a lot of the yoga. There was a yoga foundation, and I started chanting, and it was more like a spiritual, like, and there I started like doing breathing, and then yoga. You do a lot. You do a lot of breathing. Well, supposedly yoga is the breath. Saying like instead of all the asanas, and then from there, uh, somebody one day said to me, one of my cousins said, "Hey, have you ever done rebirthing?" This was around 2005. And I go, "What is that?" He goes, "Well, it's a breath that we do for an hour, right, to help release all your emotions or your pain, go into the subconscious, be able to shift, your realities, your limiting beliefs." So I go, "Okay, I'll try that." So I went for an hour, and by that time I already done Tai Chi, and I was really connecting to energy, and I was so full of energy. And I go, "How do I keep doing this?" So that's how I got in. And then from there, what happened was I go, "Okay, I want to, this should be part of my life, and I started learning from Sondra Ray, who was the mother of rebirthing. And then I also got taught by and certified by Leonard Orr, who it was the father like of rebirthing here in the United States. And 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 I just started and implementing. I still was in the corporate world as a coach, and I started bringing breath into these seminars that I was doing, like having people breathe. But those were like a 30, 40 minutes. It wasn't like really a short breath. And I didn't know that the experience and the science was action, implementing, feeling it, breathing. I didn't ask questions like, oh, is this going to do? What happens to my blood levels? What happens to my CO2, my pH? None of that.
Yeah, just
Right?
you just do
Just
it.
just breathe and help me feel good.
Well, let me just endorse the fact that I started working with Roberto recently as part of a Rubicon team, and the team that he's on this past week. I thought, well, why don't we start off with doing a breath exercise that Roberto could lead us in? And I had so many positive compliments or comments from people who were saying they felt more energized, they were fully present in the moment, and we just did that for a few minutes. In fact, on this Facebook Live, before we're done, I would invite you and request that you do just one of the breath exercises with us. I know you,
Absolutely.
because there's different types of breath, right? How many different patterns or techniques do you have?
If you work with me, you're going to learn about 32 different types of breath
Wow.
or patterns,
Got
right?
it.
And the reason is that any kind of breathing technique is good as long as it's conscious, right? And the idea is that you practice enough, whatever you're going to experience or practice, that eventually you create your own breath to heal yourself.
Interesting, because in one sense, we could say that breathing is one of the most unconscious things we do because we do it all the time and not paying attention to it. And you bringing it into consciousness allows for that awareness to transform and heal your body. So it's
absolutely, and anytime I do anything, I always ask, how many of you are breathing? And everybody raise their hand, right? And I go, what if I tell you that none of you are breathing? The breath is really breathing you because it's a physical, normal function of the body. But the challenge is that it's breathing you wrong. 97% of the people in the world are not breathing correctly.
Wow. Well, and when you think about the percentage of people who are dealing with anxiety and overwhelm and low energy and resistance and all that in life, the breath work could be the solution for them. By the way, I want to let everybody know that we have the chance to work with Roberto next week in a webinar. It's a free webinar that Rubicon is doing that's going to be on Zoom. And if you want the Zoom link, just contact me and I'll get you the link. And during that, not only do we get deeper into the type of breaths and the benefits of it, but he'll walk us through some of those 30-some breath exercises or techniques so that by the time you're done, you will be so alive, you won't believe it. So you breathe and live happy is what it's all about.
As long as you practice every day.
As long as you practice.
Like anything else.
Sure. What's the connection before you give us a chance to do a demonstration right now? What's the connection between breath work and happiness? Because you are, the El Happy coach. That's what you promised. That's what people have hired you for many years. What is it what is that connection?
Well, when you think of breath is really, if you go back when the world began, right? And
Yeah.
if you believe in that, like, there was like God, blew breath through the nose to give you life. So breath is life energy.
Got
right?
it.
It's the air, but the key is to be able to unite the energy with the air, right? So the connection to everything is the breath. From the connection to the mind to the body is the breath. The connection to spirit is the breath. When you lose your breath, you're gone.
Right.
It's the only thing, right? But it's and what happens with the breath, once you really become conscious and you master the breath, you master your life, because you start managing your ego. You connect to your true self and you're very aware of who you really are, and you're not playing this whole ego game that we play every day.
So yeah,
So
all that programming that we have in our mind, which is mostly
yeah,
based on the past, but includes a lot
yeah,
of limiting beliefs. When
yeah,
you are doing this breath work, you're actually
yeah,
connecting with your essence, that
absolutely.
energetic essence, and
Yeah, yeah.
that's a beautiful place to create from versus the limitations of it.
Absolutely, and not only that, you can go if you depending there's breath for the body, breath for the mind. For the mind, you you can if you want it. Not everybody does it, right? But if you want to, you can do a certain kind of breath, like the rebirthing breath, where you go into the subconscious and bring up all the limiting beliefs or empowering beliefs that are there, and then shift them, transform them by bringing affirmations in through the breath.
Great. So getting down to your essence, then creating I am affirmations of really creating who you really are versus those thoughts
Yeah.
you have in your brain. I got it. Wow. I'm, you know, I want to do a breath exercise now because we promised people that,
Yeah,
but I
yeah, yeah.
can't wait for our webinar because this is fascinating to me. This
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm
this
sure.
underlines all the work that I've done transformationally, and it makes it make sense. So
Mhm.
this is the missing link. So thank you for that. Uh, you want
Well,
to tell us what breath
yeah,
technique?
so I'm my go-to breath, it's called the 20 breath technique,
Okay,
right? Which is 4 sets of 5. And then circular, the reason there's circular breaths means that there's no pause after the inhale or the exhale. So it's circular. And I'll explain all the difference in the webinar, right?
okay, great.
So,
Well, let's do
so
it
we're
for
gonna
a few minutes now for those people who are watching this.
so let's see if we could do 3 sets of 20. Okay, do we have time? That we can
Sure,
do mouth,
sure.
mouth, and nose,
People
mouth.
can always click on if they don't want to do it, but if they do want
Yeah.
to do it, there's definitely a payoff.
Well, make sure everybody's sitting down, relax. The whole thing is also to relax. So we're gonna start with the first set. It's gonna be in the mouth and out the mouth, which is more body channels.
Okay,
Ready? So here we go. First set. The fifth one, take it in deep. Pause. Second set. 4. The fifth one, take it in deep. Third set. Take it in deep. And the last one, take it in deep. Let it go. And just close your eyes. Notice how you're feeling now. You should be feeling some sensations, some energy moving,
hmm
maybe some emotion. And just notice, like, that was mouth, right? That's a different channel. And now we're going to do nose mouth. So we're
okay,
going to inhale through the nose and out the mouth. The benefits of all I'll do in the webinar.
okay,
Okay.
great.
So we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth.
Okay,
So here we go. First set. Take it in deep. Second set. Take it in deep. Third set. Take it in deep. And the last set. Take it in deep. Hold it for a little bit. Let it go. And then observe how you're feeling now. Observe if there's any thoughts or less thoughts. Feel your body. Get into your body. Perhaps put your attention in your heart. Are you ready? Open your eyes. How are we feeling? Okay.
People amazing.
That's only, like There's a third one is nose. This should help integrate,
Okay.
right? Is a proper way of breathing through the nose.
Okay.
And there's more nitric oxygen, so that helps move the blood, more through your lungs and all that. So it's more integrative. So if you're ever doing breathing and stuff is showing up, get back to the nose.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go. First set. 2, 3, 4. Take it in. Second set. 3, 4. Take it in. Third set. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take it in. And the last set. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take it in and pause. Hold it. Then release. And just observe how you're feeling now compared to when we first started. It should be a little quieter. Are you ready? Open your eyes. And we're ready to go.
All right. That is amazing. And if somebody watched it but didn't participate, I invite you to go back to the tape and watch it again, because it's and participate, because it really is energizing. It's interesting, as you asked at the end about your thoughts. It's like it didn't even occur to me that my thoughts had quieted down, that I was just more present in that moment. And that's something available to us anytime. You can learn more about it in the webinar next week. It's going to be it's happening at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 o'clock Eastern time zone, and for our friends in Britain, it's going to be happening at 7 o'clock at night. But what a great technique to learn that we could do anywhere, literally anytime, sitting at your desk, at home, up in bed. Very cool.
You know what the good news is also?
What's that?
Once you put your attention on the breath, you can't be in the mind on the breath at the same time.
Got it.
So that's one way. That's one way of hacking, the thought system, if not the proper ones.
Great. And it's a nice way to take a vacation from your mind and get back to your essence. Pleasure having you part of our Rubicon coaching, Roberto. I know it will fulfill on what it is that you have as a passion for bringing to the world. So thank you for that. And we'll see you next week on the webinar. All right.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was great.
Of course. Have a great weekend.
All right. You too.